Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment deals with the money that we give Pakistan. It specifically deals with the reimbursement account that the United States pays for the war on terror and for the spending that they do and the money that they request back from the United States. Specifically takes $1 billion out of the reimbursement account and applies it to the the Spending Reduction Act. Since May the 2nd, when Osama bin Laden was taken out and we learned more about the role that Pakistan is playing, or shall I say not playing, in the war on terror, they have become more and more an unfaithful ally. President Bush said when the war on terror began to countries throughout the world, either you're with us or you're with the terrorists. Pakistan is yet to disprove which side they are really on. So much so that when Osama bin Laden was taken out by the American military, we did not trust Pakistan enough to even tell them that we were going to come into their country. Our distrust against that country has been proven over and over again since that date. On May the 16th, the Wall Street Journal reported that over 40% of the money that Pakistan requests for reimbursement for military aid is denied by the federal government because those claims are unfounded by the federal government. In one case last year, the United States paid millions of dollars to refurbish 4 helicopters to help Pakistan's army transport troops into battle against the Taliban. But it turned out that Pakistan diverted three of those aircraft to peacekeeping duties in Sudan, operations which Pakistan receives compensation from the United Nations. Other claims include a $26 million charge for barbed wire and pickets and $70 million for radar maintenance, although there is no enemy air threat related to the war on terror. Then on May the 22nd, 15 to 20 militants stormed 3 hangars at the Naval Aviation Base in Karachi. It took the Pakistan military over 15 hours to end that siege. 2 U.S. P-3Cs were destroyed. The PC-3, or the P-3C, is an anti-submarine and marine surveillance aircraft. Some reports now indicate it was an inside job, as the terrorists had military uniforms and knew exactly where the planes were located. Then on June the 14th, reports confirm that Pakistan now has arrested CIA informants that helped us locate Osama bin Laden, where he had been living under the eyes of the Pakistan military for years. As reported in the New York Times on June the 14th, ISI arrested 30 Pakistani informants who helped the United States capture bin Laden. One was a Pakistani army major who officials said copied the license plates of cars visiting bin Laden's compound at Abbottabad. And then further in June, when CIA Director Leon Panetta went to Pakistan to inform them that there was a factory that were making bombs or IEDs that could be used against Americans. By the time the Pakistani troops showed up, the militants had disappeared. Not to be outdone, we told them again about a second place where IEDs were being made, more bomb-making facilities, only days later, and once again, the terrorists picked up and disappeared. Sounds like they had inside information. And lastly, on June the 29th, Pakistan asked the United States to shut down a drone base that it had in Islamabad and ended U.S. operations at the Shamsi Air Base. Although the United States denies that occurred, Pakistan's still defense minister said that that has ended those operations. And of course, drones carry out strikes against the Taliban and al-Qaeda militants in Pakistan's border with Afghanistan. And lastly, Transparency International has rated 178 countries in corruption, and Pakistan, our so-called ally, is rated the 143rd most corrupt, beating out, of course, Bangladesh and Nigeria, who have less corruption in their governments. So we're dealing with a corrupt government. We don't know where our money is going. It may end up in the hands of people who hate us. It's being wasted. The Taliban or the Pakistan military, the Pakistan government is trying to play at least 2 sides, our side, their side. They may be on a 3rd side, who knows. But $1 billion that we send them for so-called reimbursement of the war on terror, we can stop that. They're an unfaithful ally. Only 17% of the Pakistan citizens say they even like the United States. That puts 83% against that do not like the United States. We don't need to pay the Pakistan people to hate us. They'll do it on their own. So we no longer need to take $1 billion out of this account and put it into the deficit reduction spending account. And I yield back.